Hello there. I wanted to finish our talk about how to help your teen in a coaching situation or a correcting situation in a way that they can receive it and learn from it. And I remind you that we talked about anybody, if they feel attacked, if they feel like they're being talked down to or disapproved of, immediately they begin to get their guard up. Once that guard goes up, teachability goes down. So what you want to do, especially with a teenager, is more than trying to get your point across, you want to focus on keeping the guard down. If that's the first priority, then you're more likely to actually get your point across. You might feel like you got your point across if you got into a struggle with your teen with their guard up because you said what you wanted to say. But that teen walking away from you probably didn't catch it because their guard was up. So again, the first couple I threw at you last time, I suggested try warning them because sometimes that works well for me. If I tell them, I'm about to tell you something that might get your guard up, and I want you to try to resist that first automatic response to say something defensive or to explain it away. Comfort yourself and tell yourself, tell your heart, like Steve's just trying to help me, he's not attacking me, and see how that goes. So I'll actually tell them that, and you can try that. It may work for you, it might not. Another one that I had told you last time is just to be sure to stay non-reactive, non-emotional. If you feel yourself start to get caught into the cycle of escalation in a discussion, then your teen is going to feed off of that. You will feed off of your teen, and you just get in this cycle where both of you become less rational and the communication goes down. So one way to help keep that from happening, this is my third point, is ask for permission. Simply say to your teen, do you mind if I share some things with you that I have noticed? Maybe it's last time I used the illustration of the teens not doing their chore, so they're not doing the garbage. This time, let's try to use the example of you want to talk to your teen about their music selection because you've realized that it's poisoning their minds and it's parallel to their behavior, their negative behavior, and so you want to try to help them think through their music. So you ask permission. Hey, I know your music is really important to you, but would you mind if I share some thoughts that I have about music in general and how it affects us, just for you to consider? And if you're doing it in a non-snooty way, most of the time the teen will say yes because they know that to say no is snooty on their part and they're automatically on the wrong side of that interaction. So most of the time they'll say yes. But by asking permission, you've already started to keep that guard down more because they did have an option. They did have a say in this. In some small way, they're actually asking for it now because you asked for permission. Another idea is be sure to stay on principle and be very careful about making it personal. So for example, if you're talking about their music, you might just really not even say anything about their particular music. You might just kind of stay on the idea of music in general and use other illustrations that does not them. Let them make the personal applications, but you stay on principle level. So maybe talk about somebody that is listening to violent music that a study that's done on it, and they did if they did a study on violent music and they found out that those people are X% more likely to commit a violent crime or whatever. Talk about that, or just stay on theoretical if you don't have a study to support your point. Just share your thoughts on how you think music affects us and let them make the personal application. If you do make a personal application to them, do it somewhat apologetically. I wrinkle my eyebrows a lot, and I just, watch Francis Chan. Francis Chan is very good at this. When he is correcting the body of Christ, he just looks like, I really just want to be careful telling you this. I really don't want to take this wrong. I want to be careful with your feelings, and I don't want to say it the wrong way. And Francis Chan does an amazing job with that, and it makes it so receivable. And lastly, emphasize the choice that your teen has. Your teen can disobey you. if they choose to, or they can sneak around you if they choose to. They can believe whatever they want to. If you emphasize that, if you say, this is just how I feel about music, and I would appreciate it if you would think along those lines and see what conclusions you come up to, but I know that you have to make up your own mind. I know you have to decide for yourself what you believe about these things. So, when you say that first, you're emphasizing to them that you understand they have autonomy. You understand that they are their own person. And when you understand that and you communicate that before they do, then they don't have to get rebellious to prove that point, because they know you already get it. So I hope that helps. Y'all have a great week.